Is this working? It is. Alright, that's good. Stream had a bit of an issue just then. I don't know what that was. Hopefully there's nothing too wrong there. Yep, camera, all good. I really need to censor that camera, but it's because I sit in a corner, so the green screen only goes so far. So I got to like sit in an awkward position. Yeah, so we finished the Mafia games now. It took a while to finish Mafia 3. I was surprised by that. There's a couple of games here that could be done in one session. We're doing a Stanley Parable today. I have no idea what the game entails. I just heard that it's good, and I've got it because it was a PS Plus game last month or the month before. So let's play it, and hopefully it's good. I have no idea what to expect. No idea. No. That's I just do the default. Why would it ask that? Wait, what? Okay. Bloody hell, it was 140. So real time matters, eh? 141 soon. Probably should have waited. Why does real time matter?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
And does something
And
change?
then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he
Excuse
would
me?
never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never
Right.
in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Which way is the meeting room?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What if you disobey and go to the right? What happens then? Does it fail?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ah, this is an interesting setup to a game.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
have a habit of trying to open doors because of the types of games I've played.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
Are we being
what dark
pranked?
secret was being held from him?
What if it's
What he
everyone's
could
day
not
off
have
and no one
known
told him?
was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845.
Stanley, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh, I wonder why.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What is... Well, I can't go that way. Am I meant to go that way? That looks like we'll fall down. Oh no. What is this? Even I don't know, Jord.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Doesn't sound good at all.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Apparently it does.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
And I do that how? Through here.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty.
What have I done? Hello?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh, did he now?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. What just happened? Oh, we're back here. I don't know what you're talking about, George.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow.